Well, we all know how close Arsenal got to lifting the Premier League trophy last season. Just 5 points away from Manchester City in the end. And we're top of the league for over 200 days. Well, Arsenal fell just short. And I think Mikel Arteta is going to absolutely go for it next season with a 3-2-4-1 formation with Declan Rice in CDM. We're going to be doing here a realistic Arsenal rebuild with them signings, with the brand new formation to hopefully topple Manchester City. And how about we go on to win our very own treble? What is going on there, guys? Kempy here and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video from myself. Massive thank you recently for all of the support. It's been absolutely crazy. And as this video comes out in an hour's time, there's going to be a giveaway for a copy of FM23 or a £20 Classic Football Shirts voucher. So if you are between 5 PM and 6 PM on Wednesday the 28th, head to my Twitter really quickly, retweet it, like it, 6 PM it will be drawn. Right, today it's Arsenal, and you can see we've loaded up the database with the new realism database, which you've got in the Premier League system. Obviously, the points are exactly. Sadly, they can't make it to the Europa League, FA Cup, and Carabao Cup are exactly correct. But luckily, because they come second last year, it doesn't really matter. We'll ignore all the trophies we've won here. I didn't win them. Mikel Arteta won them, and the thing with Mikel Arteta as well is obviously Arsenal fans are not going to want him to go anywhere. So what I have done in terms of staff is I've made Mikel Arteta our assistant manager. So when we go on holiday, Mikel Arteta will be in charge of every single game. I think that's only fair. He's done a very, very good job at Arsenal. And yeah, we're signing players this season that I think are realistic to Arsenal. And that's what we'll be doing in the future as well. And also we're going to plug it in a 3-2-4-1 system, which I built for Arsenal. I built for Mikel Arteta. The video on that was out on Monday. So if you haven't seen that, head over there and watch that one. We've also got an Ange Postecoglou one on Sortitoutsi that come out on Tuesday, with the Spurs rebuild coming out tomorrow. A nice little North London rebuild battle. The formation we're going to be using is this Arteta 3-2-4-1. It's a sweeper keeper and goal on support. It's 2 ball-playing defenders either side of a middle ball-playing defender. The 2 on the outside of Dribble More and Stay wider. A DM on support on the left-hand side, an anchor man defender on the right-hand side. Inverted wing on support on that right-hand side of roam from position and tackle harder. The attacking midfielder on attack with roam from position, tackle harder. The advanced playmaker on support with roam from position, tackle harder. And an inside forward and attack on the left with sit narrower and tackle harder. And an advanced forward up front and attack with roam from position and tackle harder. It's a balanced mentality. In possession, it's very, very wide. Short passing, play at defence, low crosses, work the ball into the box. Be more expressive, focus play through the middle, and a slightly higher tempo as well. In transition, we're counter-pressing, countering, distributing quickly and to the centre-backs and taking short kicks as a high-press system. And we're triggering the press as much as possible. Now, Arteta has alluded, well, I think Arsenal fans on Twitter pretty much, I've got this from, have alluded to this formation being very, very possible next year. And I think with the signings of Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, sort of allude to this because they're going to go over dual DM pivot. You're going to have Odegaard and Havertz in these 2 cam roles with Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, Jesus up front. It's a very, very attractive side, I've got to say. I'm a massive fan of that front 5. The youth, the ability, the talent is there, and it's a fantastic front 5. So we need to go ahead, we need to go and make them signings. We've got £85 million to spend. I'm not going to lie, I did give us an extra £70 million because I had £15 million to spend. And quite frankly, that is not possible because Granit Xhaka in life has left for like 30 million. Well, I think he's left for 30 million. And there's some players here that simply do not have the value that they have on FM as they do in real life, so I can't really move too many on. And to be honest, there's not really that many players to move on. And Arsenal seem to have a whole bunch of cash this summer. So I have given us an extra 70 million in the pre-game enter, so we are up to 85 million pounds. Balance-wise, we're on 80 million as well. There's no real debt at the club, just 25 million, 90 million in transfer debt. So that's quite good to see as well. And obviously some fantastic young players here at Arsenal. We've got Charlie Patino, Miguel Aziz, Omar Rekic, Florian Balogun, Marquinhos as well. And in the first team, you know, we're looking at William Saliba. Obviously had a massive breakout season last season, so we're definitely trying to utilise him. Yapa Kivior, I think, is going to end up leaving. We've got Reece Nelson's just signed a brand new contract, always scores a big goal. Fabio Vieira and Emil Smith-Rowe are going to be fantastic backups to Odegaard and to Havertz if we can get him in. Gabby Jesus, Martinelli, Eddie Nketiah, DD, of course. So we'll have to see what signings we can bring in. £85 million to spend. And obviously, we're looking to close that gap to Manchester City. Next season, it'll be fantastic to lift the Premier League trophy. And obviously, we're trying to build to winning that treble as well. So let's get right into it. Season 1 transfers. Let me show you guys what we've come up with. Well, if you guys can, make sure as well to like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We've got loads of things on the screen right now. We've got TikTok, I say that all the time, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube's second account, and also Patreon as well. The Patreon members are on screen now. You 7, as I record this, are absolute legends, so thank you so much. If you do want to join the Patreon, you get all the rebuild files, including this one. It is the very top of the description. You can just pick up this save from wherever we finish off, and that is the same with anything we have done in the last couple of months. They're all on Patreon, so if you want to get involved in them, link is in the description. Transfers for Arsenal then, we've got £7 million left, and we've made a few signings. So the first thing you can see is Alessandro Bastoni. I've brought him in. I think he's suited much more to this sort of Arsenal team than Jurrien Timber. I know, as I record this, apparently Arsenal got in with a second bid for Timber. This sim was done just before the weekend. So Timber was sort of on the realms of it. But to be honest, I don't see Timber. It doesn't make sense to me. You've got Ben White and William Saliba, who are both right-footed centre-backs. You've also got Gabriel, who I think is... Oh, he's actually left-footed. But you've also got Tomiyasu, who's right-footed as well. So you've got, 3 very decent right-footed centre-backs. And you're going to add Timber into that, and I just didn't think that was the greatest move. So Bastoni is the player I've gone with. £40 million to get him out of Inter Milan. Ball playing defender, decent enough pace on him, and he's a fantastic centre half as well. Has been linked with Spurs recently, but I brought him into Arsenal. He wanted to come here. He dropped me a DM, and I was like, all right, mate, I'll bring you in. So Bastoni is in instead of Jurrien Timber. Maybe we'll get Timber in a few years' time, but a left-footed centre-back, I think, is more what they need. I've sold Nicolas Pepe for £7.5 million, Pablo Mari for £5.5, Jakub Kivior for £7, and a few players have left on free contracts as well. Also, sales here, we've got £45 million for Partey to Man City. Obviously they missed out on Declan Rice, so they come and raided us instead. Kieran Tierney's gone to Barcelona for £24 million. Fantastic young player, Kieran Tierney. We're not playing with wing-backs, and the only reason I've got rid of him. Aware he could have played as a centre-back, but he's only 5'10". I mean, Alessandro Martinez is fantastic. But I've sold him now, and he's gone for £24 million. Xhaka has gone to Porto for £15 million. Cedric has gone for £5 million to Brighton, and a few other players have left as well. And I had to massively overpay for Kai Havertz, but we paid £130 million for him, which is absolutely outrageous. But Chelsea didn't want to talk. It looks like £65 million in real life, so I'm glad I gave myself the extra £70 million at the start, because that levels that out. But Kai Havertz, a fantastic signing for Arsenal. If they can get him playing how he was at Bayer Leverkusen, I think as that cam next to Odegaard, behind Jesus, with Saka and Martinelli in the right and left spots, that is an absolutely dangerous front five, and I'm very, very excited to see how that works next season. I hope it doesn't stop United winning anything next season, but from a neutral perspective, fantastic signing. Kai Havertz, big fan of that. If they can get him playing on FM, a value of £280 million. It probably shows you just enough of why Arsenal have gone to get him. And also Declan Rice as well. To be honest, had to pay £75 million for him. Not as much as I expected. I expected to have to go in at 100. It was us, Liverpool and City that were going in for him. He chose Arsenal on the game. Maybe by the time this comes out, he chose Arsenal in real life as well. I think it's a better move for him. I think it's more sort of progressive to go there than City. They're going to fall off. They've lost Gundogan. They're lost, didn't they? But Declan Rice, I think, is a fantastic signing for Arsenal and suits them down to the ground as well. I mean, when you look at the actual team we've got now, I think it is so strong. It's Ramsdale, Saliba, White, Bastoni, Jorginho, Rice, Saka, Odegaard, Havertz, Martinelli, Gabi Jesus. That is fantastic. You've obviously got Zinchenko that can come in that DM role as well instead of Jorginho, and Rice might sit a little bit deeper. Obviously you've got Tomiyasu, Rob Holding and Gabriel as the 3 centre-backs. Gabriel is probably more likely to play than Ben White, I'd imagine. So it could be something like that, possibly. You've got Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, Smith Rowe, Trossard and Nketiah. It's a fantastic young team here at Arsenal, and a very, very exciting time to be an Arsenal fan. And we are now in the Premier League, the Champions League, the Super Cup, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. So let's see what we can win in our first full season as Arsenal manager. Well, The Premier League certainly got stronger this season, and we didn't actually challenge as much as I thought we might. I think our team is absolutely fantastic, but maybe missing a few backups that can come in and do the business when it's needed. We come 4th position, 79 points. Outrageous tally to come in 4th. United in 3rd of 83, Liverpool in 2nd of 85, and City top with 87. We didn't win the Carabao Cup, we didn't win the FA Cup, we lost quite early on both of them. Super Cup we won, so we lifted the trophy. We didn't win the Community Shield, we got round of 16 in the Europa League after getting knocked out of the Champions League, so a bit of a stinky season to be honest, and a very, very surprising one, because in the tests we've done with this tactic, it was fantastic and we had absolutely no issues at all. But first season, I suppose it makes it a little bit more of a rebuild. We've got a bit more of a way to go. What I will say though is I do love that the goals are coming everywhere in this front 5. Gabby Jesus with 32, Martinelli with 11, Havertz with 16, Odegaard with 16, Saka with 11, but 21 assists, 22 assists for Odegaard, 13 for Havertz. You've got 10 goals coming from Fabio Vieira and 4 assists. You've got 7 goals and 13 assists coming from Smith Rowe off the bench as well. Trossard with 9 and 8 off the bench is also fantastic. And Nketiah with just 1 goal and 1 assist. So maybe someone to look at replacing. Maybe we're not having enough firepower. Gabby Jesus is fantastic. XG of 32, scoring 32. To be honest, one of the problems I think with Gabby Jesus in real life is that he doesn't perform to his XG. But it seems like on this game he's performed bang on, but maybe not overperforming. So, you know, a few goals that he could have maybe stuck in would have been even better. But, you know, matching the XG is no mean feat. Declan Rice for 7.07 average rating, a goal and 6 assists for him. Jorginho doing very well as well. Obviously getting on a little bit now, but still played 50 games overall and doing absolute bits. Zinchenko played 47 games, and like Gabriel played a whole bunch of games as well. I was right, he did play over Ben White, so that was interesting to see. Zinchenko obviously as well did play more than Jorginho, so that was probably our strongest 11. You're looking at, you know, some very, very good average ratings in there. Obviously maybe need to improve that DM position with Zinchenko sitting in there instead of Jorginho. Probably not the person I was looking for in there, so let's go out and get an absolute destroyer so we can let Declan Rice sit in that DM role. It's probably what I'll be looking to do, and that's going to be expensive because, you know, Zinchenko is a very, very good player. Maybe another centre back again. Maybe this is where we try and sign Yuri and Timber, but a very, very good season, you know, back in the top 4 back to back, which is good for Arsenal. 2.71 goals per game, seeing 0.97 means it was a very fun season, I imagine. Lots of goals coming. I mean, look at this spell to be an Arsenal fan. Oh my, we're going to go back even further. So we've got a 7-1, a 0-0, 4-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-1, 5-1, 3-1. That's a great time to be an Arsenal fan. You are absolutely laughing during that as well. And did we manage to absolutely batter Spurs? We lost 3-2 at the Emirates, but when we went to their ground, we won 3-2. So trading with a 93rd minute Leandro Trossard winner as well. That is pretty awesome to see. But yeah, no, a decent end to the season. Didn't obviously quite manage to lift the Premier League in this season. I'm going to go ahead now, make some new signings. We've got £100 million to spend, £303,000 in wage budget. This is where it gets a little bit wild. We're going to have to go out and get some players that Arsenal are not linked to in real life, but what I think are realistic signings. So let's go forward 12 months time. What signings do we make and how do we do in season number 2? Well, we brought in just 2 players this summer, but some very, very good players and one of the best CDMs on this game by far. I said I wanted an absolute destroyer, someone that can play in the anchorman role. And Tchouaméni was actually wanting to leave Real Madrid. I imagine with, you know, all the players coming in, you know, you've got Modric and Kroos staying, you've got what's their names? Bellingham, you've got Valverde, Camavinga. He, you know, played 34 games last season, just 24 starts. The season before, played 1 game. So, you know, maybe not getting the game time he wanted to leave Real Madrid, and Arsenal was where his home is. And imagine that DM. Declan Rice and Aurélien Tchouaméni is a fantastic DM partnership, an extremely consistent player, an absolute destroyer, and is just simply fantastic as well. So buzzing to get that signing over the line. Got a 7 average rating over the whole season, 48 appearances, 1 goal and 5 assists. Is great to see. The other signing we made as well is Giorgio Scalvini. Now he played 40 games for us this season, a 7.08 average rating. Just £34 million was his release clause. He signed for Lazio and then we signed him from there. So very happy to get that one done. And and over the line, and a fantastic signing at centre-back as well. Strengthened us even more than we already were last season. But the question is, how far did it take us? Data hub wise, we're looking at 2.16 goals per game, 0.89 conceded per game, and you can probably guess from that, it's not a Premier League trophy. We did win a trophy. It's the Carabao Cup, the cup that everyone wants to win. I mean, when you're playing a team like Leeds in the final, you know you're in the big time. Sorry, Leeds fans, I had to get that little one in. But a 3-1 victory, 3-1 victory led us there. But league position, we did come third. Now, 76 points is a drop off from last season, but everyone seems to drop off. Liverpool on 78, Man City on 83. Man City knocking us out in the Champions League quarter-final as well is an absolute gut-wrencher. FA Cup, we're third rounded by Spurs, which again is an absolute killer. And this season, exactly like I said about last year, striker, I think, is a position that needs improving. 22 XG, scoring just 17 goals. Now it's, maybe a little bit of a myth and a little bit of a thing I have about Gabby Jesus, but I just think in front of goal, you need an absolute killer, and he was not that this season. Martinelli with 19 and 8 was very, very good. And Kai Havertz was our top goal scorer with 20 goals and 10 assists. Martin Odegaard with 9 goals, 21 assists, and Bukayo Saka 11 goals, 18 assists. Declan Rice doing very well this season, 3 goals and 2 assists as well. And then looking at our back three, Giorgio Scalvini, William Saliba and Gabriel, a fantastic back three with Bastoni, Tomiyasu and Ben White as the backups is awesome. Gabriel doing bits of 8 goals of that big head of his, getting 3 assists as well, was great to see. Jorginho certainly did not play as many games this season, just 7 and 37 off the bench. Zinchenko still played a hell of a lot with 2 goals, 7 assists in 41 appearances. Reece Nelson probably going to get moved on. Fabio Vieira, a fantastic backup. Cam Rolls, 6 goals, 13 assists. Smith Rowe, 9 goals and 8 assists. Trossard of 8 and 6. And Nketiah, again, just scoring the 1 goal. A clear issue is needing to be solved. A striker and one that can definitely go out there and do the business. So let's go and do it. £104 million, 125 million in the bank as well. Again, debts-wise, £65 million in transfer debt. That's fine. We'll ride that off at some point. Very, very good rebuild for Arsenal so far. The only thing I will say about Arsenal is their youth facilities are not what I thought they were. Only a 4-star. We're not getting many amazing players out. I mean, Connor O'Neill has just come through. He's a 5-star potential, but only 1 in the whole thing. I mean, when I've done this with United, Barcelona, Chelsea, I mean, even into Miami, we had a couple of fantastic youth players. We've had some unreal youth talent, but nothing so far at Arsenal for season number 2 is very, very interesting. But yeah, let's go out, try and make some signings. £104 million. I'll bring you back before this season so I can show you guys who we're going to bring in to mount an actual challenge. We need to go and win the FA Cup, the Champions League, the Premier League, and maybe the Carabao Cup again. That is the goal. Well, we need to win all 3 in one season, really. So let's go and do that. Let's make some signings and I'll show you guys who we brought in. Well, Florian Balogun and Reece Nelson have both left the club. £30 million coming in for them too, meaning we can reinvest a little bit of money. And Rooney Bargi has come in. £15 million, 19 years old. We know how good Rooney Bargi is. He's one of the most signed players on FM on everyone's save. And for £15 million as a backup to Bukayo Saka, you cannot get much better than this. I mean, fantastic signing, fantastic young player as well. And you haven't used him. Where have you been, first of all? Go and use him. He is outrageously good. £15 million where you can pick him up for. Unbelievable talent. Pierre Kalulu is a player I brought in as well. Fantastic. 25 years old, 6 foot. Urine Timber was £100 million. £47 million for this guy, Pierre Kalulu. Fantastic signing. Really good right-footed centre-back. 6 foot tall as well. Extremely consistent. Has got that pace. Very good on the ball. Great anticipation, composure, concentration. That's what you want in your centre-back as a ball player. As that sort of wider centre-back as well. Is exactly what I was looking for. So buzzing to get him over the line. And the striker to get us some firepower. Now, there was a few players on my list. There was a Victor Osimhen. There was a Dusan Vlahovic. There was a Rasmus Højlund. But the man I've gone for is Gonçalo Ramos. And I think Ramos, right, in this Arsenal side, in real life, would be unbelievable. Imagine Ramos, Odegaard, Havertz, Martinelli and Saka. Like, that would be beautiful. This guy is an unbelievable finish. He's got some unbelievable tech as well. A very flair player looks in real life. Some fantastic finishing. Great team working off the ball work as well, which is what you want in this striker position here. Very consistent. Loves a big match. And you can see from his finishing in previous seasons, 9 goals and 23 for Bayern Munich, but 21 and 30 for Benfica. We got a 4 million discount from him going to Bayern Munich, getting that little bit of experience to now come to the Premier League and hopefully dominate with this Arsenal side. That's pretty much all we made transfers wise. The team is looking extremely strong. Ramsdale, Kalulu, Saliba, Scalvini, Tchouaméni, Rice, Saka, Odegaard, Havertz, Martinelli and Ramos, with Turner, Gabriel, Bastoni, Ben White, Jorginho, Zinchenko, Rooney Bargi, Vieira, Smith Rowe, Trossard and Gabriel Jesus as the backups, with Lokonga, Nketiah and Tomiyasu also sticking around. A lot of players going out on loan this season. A few players that I was trying to sell. Marquinhos has not developed into what I hoped he would. Tried to sell over 20 million. He's ended up going out on loan. But we'll see if we can get anything from next season then. Obviously, this season, just the Carabao Cup. Next season, we want at least one more trophy. Hopefully a Premier League, maybe an FA Cup. You never know. Maybe even a Champions League. Season 3 with Arsenal. Let's get right into it. Which is another very quick, gentle reminder for you guys to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as well, a reminder that you guys can get this game file on Patreon. That is down in the description below. The very top of the description. Click the link. There's a $5 tier, I believe it is, for the game files. So head over there. Anyone that does that, you're absolute legends. And you've got the legends that have been on screen as well. A massive thank you to them. And a massive thank you for you guys as well for the support recently. Like I said, the support has been so mental. I've been able to do a giveaway for FM or a £20 voucher for classic football shirts if you've already got FM. So thank you to all of you. We're going to start things off here in an FA Cup final. It's Bukayo Saka with a penalty. Blasts it down the middle and beats the United goalkeeper. Saka again on this left-hand side finds Gabby Jesus. Does end up beating Kobe Mainoo to the ball. Havertz finds Saka. Saka drills it in for 2-0 to Arsenal against Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes from the spot does end up beating Ramsdale with a little cheeky chip down the middle, and Manchester United are going to come back at us again with Diogo Dalot. A fantastic switch to Marcus Rashford, who's going to bring it into the box. He's going to blast it in off the post, and they're going to get 2-2. But that's not the end of the story. Saka on the ball finds Odegaard. Odegaard in that little hole with a fantastic reverse pass through to Fabio Vieira to make it 3-2. And now the fourth goal. Oyarzabal was on the ball. Great pressing from Aurelien Tchouaméni. He wins the ball high up the pitch. Finds Fabio Vieira, who is the star of the show. And a 4-2 victory gets us our first piece of the treble. 20 shots, 9 on target, a 2.77 XG. But the question is there any more trophies? And the answer to that is a certain yes. We have also won the Premier League. 88 points, 4 points clear of Manchester United, who we played in that cup final. United under Ten Hag having a very good couple of years. I mean, Kobe Mainoo in the team is fantastic. I love that. 27 appearances for young Kobe. They're also playing a 3-2-3. What are they playing? Oh, they are playing a 4-3-2-1, 4-2-3-1. Just they're missing the centre back in the side. That tripped me out a lot. But yeah, a very strong side there for Manchester United, and obviously falling just short to this fantastic Arsenal side. Liverpool in third place with 78, City in fourth on 77. But we ran clear. No top goal scorer. Haaland, Calvert-Lewin, Willy Gnonto. We were all the way down in ninth place with Gabby Jesus with 17 goals. Odegaard with 11 goals. Maybe the signing wasn't all about Gonçalo Ramos. He's obviously a very good striker, but maybe not quite the goal scorer we needed. So we've got 2 parts of the treble. There's no way we've got a third already, is there? Well, a Champions League final against PSG is all that stands in our way. Declan Rice for ball to Gabby Jesus, and Kai Havertz puts us up just 2 minutes in. A fantastic start, but Neymar Jr. is going to ruin our day with a shot from the penalty spot, making it 1-1. Fabio Vieira was the star of the FA Cup. He whips one in, and Gabriel is going to finish to make it 2-1 to the Arsenal. But PSG on the ball. Vitinha, a fantastic switch out to the right-hand side, and it's Van der Sar on the ball. Great cross in. Bit of a mistake there from Aaron Ramsdale when Neymar puts it in for 2-2. Fabio Vieira again with a free kick, whipped into Martin Odegaard, who heads home for 3-2 to Arsenal. It's a ding-dong battle because PSG are through again. Neymar through to Fabian, is 1-1 with Ramsdale, and Ramsdale a poor attempt, but that's 3-3 with 75 minutes gone. And we're not done. Bastoni on the ball. Finds Gabriel. Finds Kalulu. A fantastic ball of the top 2. Fabio Vieira. Finds Gonçalo Ramos. and he comes good in the big moments. Are PSG going to come back, or are we going to get another? It's Fabian on the ball. Scalvini intercepts. Havertz plays Ramos. Rooney, Bargi. I just told you to go and sign him. And he tips off a treble winning season for Arsenal. A fantastic season. One that we wanted to make happen as soon as possible. And with the way Arsenal have got players coming in real life, I think it's a possibility. And I mean, looking at the team, look at the goal scorers they've got there. Havertz, Gabriel, Odegaard, Ramos, Rooney, Bargi. PSG with Neymar and Fabian doing bits. We deserved to win that game. A 2.61 XG, double the amount of shots as them, double the amount of shots on target. And we've done it already. Season 3, a treble. It's the same we did it with Manchester United. Chelsea, it took us, I think, 5 years, did it, to win a fake treble? Did we even win a treble? I don't remember what we did with Chelsea. But Arsenal are set up in a very, very good way. And my favourite thing about this whole thing is the front five and the way they all got double doubles. Saka with 22 and 13, Odegaard with 18 and 18, Havertz with 14 and 18, Martinelli with 12 and 12, Gabby Jesus with 29 and 13, Gonçalo Ramos with 17 and 6, Smith Rowe with 9 and 12, Rooney Bargi with 11 and 9. Goals coming from everywhere, and I think the team has been built very, very well. A great base of DMs in Tchouaméni and Rice. A great back three rotation options of Kalulu, Saliba, Scalvini, Gabriel, Bastoni and Ben White. And a very good goalkeeper as well in Aaron Ramsdale. Has got us to a treble in just 3 seasons. Not a lot of money left. You've got £70 million in the bank account, but with the team you've got here, can you go on and win back-to-back? Can you go on and complete football with Arsenal? Will we get another invincible season? That is your guys' challenge in the Patreon down below. Make sure you're liking the video, subscribe to the channel, and look back tomorrow for Sortitoutsi Spurs rebuild. Can we win anything with Spurs? I think the goal should be maybe a trophy. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.